Well, today we're on the Generation 2 Hayabusa, and my intention really today is to just do a bit of a comparison between this one and the Honda Blackbird that I bought fairly recently to replace the Royal Enfield Interceptor, which I didn't really I just didn't get on with it really. And as I said before, I think I do like old Hondas. First thing is that there's spots of rain and the sun shining and I can't see any rain clouds, so that's a bit strange for a start. So the main thing I need to do is just see how the two bikes compare in everyday driving, because obviously this bike is much quicker than the Blackbird, certainly at the top end, which of course you never really get to. First thing I notice is that the mirrors on this bike are far better than the Honda Blackbird. They're square, so you get a better view, and also the handlebar position doesn't interfere with the mirror position. This one has 22mm bar risers, which I find more comfy than the standard setting. You need to set them up slightly, the mirrors. Nasty bumpy little road, this one. You need to be square on to the road on this particular road because it's got a negative camber. I suspect the camera's going to wobble a bit because I'm trying to adjust the right hand side mirror. I think I've got it pretty well sorted. Yes, these mirrors are far better than the Blackbird ones. And of course, one thing this bike's got is a gear indicator, which I'm looking at now. But it's not something that causes me any concern really. I've never really looked at the gear indicator. I know it's a nice feature, but if you've been riding for years, you look at the tachometer really to know what gear you're in if you're used to the machine. Other than that, the bike's running beautifully at sort of ordinary road speeds. They both do. but it has to be said that the motor on this one isn't quite as smooth, even at low speeds. I could overtake this lot, I suppose, but as I'm doing a real world test of the two bikes, I'll stick with it. Just see how it feels at the ordinary road driving level. I find it doesn't matter what bike I ride these days at my age, about 100 miles is enough. And I suppose I've been fairly lucky that I don't really have any back problems, so the slightly forward stance doesn't really bother me too much. But of course, the faster you go, the more weight is taken off your arms. So at lower speeds, you do tend to be taking more weight on your wrists. And I have to say the Honda bars are, after a couple of miles, probably more comfy, but we'll see how we get on later. Visor down, I think. It's a little bit windy. There's a lot more vibration through the tank on this bike, a lot. I can feel it. The Blackbird, I mean, it's like a turbine. Quite amazing, really, how smooth that bike is. Not so bad now, just above 3,000 revs. Just overtake this lorry. Of course, this bike has all the electronic gizmos that people seem to think they need these days. ABS and modes of driving and all that kind of stuff. And the main thing I reckon between the two bikes is, although this has got quite a few more horsepower, or many more horsepower than the Blackbird, it uses a lot less petrol. It's quite remarkable how economical this thing is, really. I did a check on the Blackbird, and it says in the write-up that you know, in mixed driving you can expect in the upper 30s, and actually they were spot on. I know this one in a similar sort of driving experience returns at least 10 miles to the gallon more, which is unbelievable. Well, we're doing a steady 70 and it feels it's still a little bit vibratory, but not much, very little in fact.